Alright, pen that shit around really quick. Yeah, we fucking did it.
Yeah, fuck you, Floor.
So, we've made it through most of this game without running into anything substantial with regards to, like, the claims of how stuff, well, no, like how, the stories of how, the game didn't get the QA test it deserved because basically the guys at Vigil and THQ just ran out of money during development. Thankfully, we haven't hit any of the hard progression stopping bugs, but that whole sequence is just an example of a gameplay section that either they just didn't have time or whatever happened. That was ridiculous. Like you get to the very top, and if you jump instead of just press up to walk up the platform, the spikes come and touch your toes and you die.
Not his little toesies.
Because it just seems obvious from a gameplay perspective that when you have a player in a crunch situation like that and they're climbing up, when you get to the top, you instinctively press jump to get away from the thing that's coming at you from down under, to get away from it. But no, if you do that, your character doesn't jump forward, they just jump straight up, land on the ledge again that they're hanging from, and then the death trap comes and tickles your feet, and he laughs so hard because of the tickling, he dies. I mean, that was just, To be fair, I wasn't expecting miracles from the port. I mean, the port has been pretty good so far, as I mentioned before. But you hit something like that, and it's like, holy shit.
And it's like I mentioned, it's not the progression breaking bugs that you're worried about.
It's not game breaking, it's just poor design. And I always had that little asterisk in my head when I say that, 'cause it's not so much like a choice of poor design, it's just, it's probably, they didn't have time to give the game the proper polish it needed. They literally ran out of money when the game was in development. I don't want to say it's better than nothing because, like, in recent news, by the time this goes up, the news will be somewhat old news, maybe we'll know more about it, but we just heard about Telltale just closed its doors, and like 150 people lost their jobs. And we're told that day. And the more details are coming about that, the more of a super bummer it sounds. There were people that were hired, they were like for less than a week or a month or something before the layoffs happened. There were people there was at least one or two employees I heard about that located across country to work there. Several people were in situations where they're living paycheck to paycheck. We started hearing a lot of horror stories about how poorly managed the place was and working conditions were not ideal. Like you were expected to work overtime and not get paid for it. Like none of these employees get severance pay. It just always sucks when you hear about stuff like that. Like it reminds me of, what was that studio that made I'm talking super vague terms, I can't remember the names of fucking anything. The fucking fantasy game that was made by the baseball guy.
Oh, Kingdom, I know which one I think it was 38 Studios.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Kingdom's like Amalur.
Yeah.
It was this big fantasy, like, fucking, like fucking Elder Scrolls style project.
Yeah, just fantasy kind of adventure game.
And the game itself was really good. What I heard.
Yeah, I think I played the demo of it. Yeah, it seemed like an okay game, but allegedly just funds were super mismanaged. And what was the state that paid them?
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of, like, Rhode Island had this big business loan thing where they
to get the game company to come and open their office there.
Just to get businesses there.
Yeah.
Game companies.
Well, they took advantage of that.
Oh yeah, big time.
And then it fucking.
The state of Rhode Island paid the price for it.
I don't know if Telltale is gonna the story of Telltale is gonna go quite that bad, but this seems more like a case of what we're hearing so far. Again, this is still fairly new news, so more details can come out by the time this fucking episode goes up. But it just seems like Telltale suffered from poor management. Shit. And oh hey, just jump back. Yay. they took on more than they could handle, and allegedly, from other people that have been talking since this whole thing went down, the company's just been hemorrhaging money since like the first season of The Walking Dead. Like that was the only one that made money. I think they said like Minecraft Story Mode made money, but everything else that they've put out, like Batman and Wolf Among Us and Guardians,
even though they were extremely popular,
they had the IPs and supposedly they reviewed well. They just didn't sell well.
I've heard some people blame it on LP, just like Let's Players.
Well, no, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's an argument for another day. But from what I've been hearing from employees in the both anonymous and people that have been speaking out, they said the company took on more than it could handle. It was just really poorly managed. Management was in the shit, and all the people have been talking about. That the writing that's kind of been on the wall for a little while, because over the past year or so, like this, they've had like other layoffs and like restructurings, and the hints were kind of there that all was not well inside the walls of Telltale. But I think no one predicted this was going to happen. The whole studio, just almost everyone gets laid off, except for like 25 people that they kept on to finish the Netflix Minecraft Story thing. But yeah, final season of Walking Dead will probably not be finished, even though the second episode of that's supposed to come out in like a week or so. The Stranger Things series that we're going to do has been canceled. Wolf Among Us Season 2 is canceled. A lot of other projects they had in the works. I think there was another Batman thing in the works, if I remember correctly. It could be wrong.
Now this may be conjecture, but I did hear that the Batman Telltale game was a resounding failure. Like even more so than they just didn't make back a lot.
Well, from what the stuff I've been hearing is everything except for the first season of The Walking Dead and Minecraft Story Mode lost money for them.
Right.
And Wolf Among, I hear praises of Wolf Among Us, and I heard praises of Batman, and a lot of the stuff, like the reviews well, supposedly, people that played it said they're really well, but it just didn't make the money that they were spending.
And I think
part of that also has to do with the accusations that a lot of resources were being mismanaged. They were spending money where they didn't need to be spending. They took on more stuff they could handle. So again, they were just hemorrhaging money. They were spending more money than they were making, allegedly.
Yep. Well, and it doesn't help though. So like, apparently they're out of a couple reports that I've heard. What the fuck was that?
It opened a door.
What was that?
What's what? Is there a shiny behind there?
Yeah, see that shiny right there?
That's a weapon. Look, can you look at your map? Yeah, see there's a chest like it looks like behind you. Or behind that area. I think that's a weapon. You can't zoom in, can you?
That's about as soon as I get. Oh, I know what that is.
Looks like a weapon.
It's one of the gnomes.
One of the gnomes?
So there is there are hidden gnomes in the game for what is called the Nomad Scythe, or Joe Maguire, or something like that.
Okay.
And you have to find them. When you find all of them, you get the Nomad Scythes, and it's just like.
Is that a really cool pair of scythes?
Huh?
Is that a really cool pair of scythes?
Not really. I've seen it.
Well, no, I mean like function-wise, I assume.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah, Telltale, bad news. I forget where our conversation was before we got sidetracked with that.
There is mismanagement taking them work and how.
Yeah.
And then like they refused to rebuild the engine, so.
Well, that seems one of the ways they were trying to cut costs. I think some people have talked about it was an indie studio that refused to stop being indie, even though how much growth they were undertaking.
Yeah. Okay. What now?
Well, looks like there's exploding crystals up there. There's an R2, so was there something you could have clamped onto?
Maybe.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Back around. Is there a chest to your left?
It's down there. It's underneath you.
shoulders.
Maybe ones that fit my build a little bit better. Or they do not.
I just really hope that
Or they do.
when 3 comes out, even if it's not like a fucking substantial success, I just hope it's a good game and it justifies the fact that we can get more of these. There's still a lot of potential in these games. It's just like 2 just like had a bunch of ideas that just kind of, not that they don't mesh. In my opinion, they don't really mesh together that well. Like the combat in this game is phenomenal. It's amazing. I'm not a big fan of the random loot system in the game. It just didn't sit well with me because they have the random loot, but there's still also like super weapons you can find in the game if you know where to look and what bosses to fight and all that.
Which I think is okay.
It just fills up your inventory with clutter, and it's like, okay.
The best part about the random loot system is the possessed weapons, because if you didn't like any, or if you out-leveled some of those super weapons, you could find a weapon, or you could build a weapon that was really good for you. So,
Yeah. And we've talked about at length the fucking rule of 3 problem this game has.
I hope that they fix the flow, because the flow of this game is
Well, it's obvious they try to go for a more open world exploration feel with this, as opposed to the linear of the linear Zelda dungeon design of the first game, and like that part of that spirit still lives on in this, because there's still dungeons you go through and there's bosses in the dungeons, but not so much like you got to find the key item to use and use that to fight the boss.
right.
Even though there are still all key items you find in here, and they help you open up your exploration of the game, but not so much required to fight the boss.
Yeah, they're more tools for later, for
They expand your access to stuff in the games, not the thing used to fight the boss. It's just there's a lot of ideas that were put into this that just don't. Oh, there's a grip above you.
Yep, I saw that. Switch back to my grabby hand.
There you go. There you go. Can you pull that switch, or is that stuck onto the... trapped by the yellow shit? Oh.
Yeah, it's trapped in the yellow garbage.
Open! Okay.
But what I do hope for 3 is that they go a more natural flow with how they're moving. I hope the combat doesn't have to be identical, but I hope it stays similar. Where as you get
Hello, big bug man.
more weapons and more locked abilities, the combat actually.
It'll be interesting to see how it evolves with the hollow system that they're going with, where the hollows like the powers they unlock and give you different abilities. And from what we've seen so far, it doesn't seem like the combat will be as fast-paced as this is. But it's still, from what we've seen, it looks okay.
That's all early, though. It's not.
They have, I mean, to give them credit, they have like expanded upon that simple 3-hit combo that Fury has at the start of the first alpha demo that we saw, which was in that 1 3-hit whip combo. I mean, that seems to have been expanded on. We see she has like the heavy sword when she uses the sword keys, which is kind of cool. I think that's all we've really seen in weapon-wise, is just the whip and then like the heavy sword. It's not that we've seen much else. Her arsenal is more. Yeah. I also hope they don't ruin their, advertising too much, like the ridiculous collector's editions of the game that have already been announced. Like the fuck was like $400 or $600 for that one with like the 3 statues.
Yeah,
It's fucking ridiculous.
that's a little cash grabby.
Kind of bonkers there.
That's a lot of cash grabby, actually.
In my opinion, the statues don't even look that great. Like the death one is just him, like without any of his armor on. Like he's just bare chest and just has the. It looks, yeah, it looks too plain. I mean, the war one looked okay, I guess. But I'm always still kind of weary of collector's editions with statues ever since the bullet I dodged with the collector's edition of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Hello, I think this is going to be the boss of this dungeon. We got a key.
It's a key.
Have we found a locked door?
This way.
Ooh, there's a thingy up there. It's a shiny. Oh no. There you go. I still wish in sections like this where death is you know, death gripping across stuff, if they had a little more of like a swing of fluid between the grabs, because he jumps, stops in midair, shoots the hand, and then gets pulled. I guess it's just kind of a nitpick, I guess, for me.
I get it.
I kind of miss like the God of War ones where you chain between things and it's like, you know, almost like Spider-Man's between them. You swing, whoosh. Swing, whoosh. So we got a key, so I'm assuming there's a locked door around here somewhere.
Yep, it's right over there.
Oh, there it is. I see it now. Is there a grabby to that side? Oh, excuse me. I almost wish there was a boss that had a mechanic where you shoot it with one of these lantern lights and kills the boss that way somehow. Oh, can you just climb up there? It's a laser beam. Use it to kill something.
Open.
If there's a dungeon where you have to carry like a super version of the lantern through it at the very end when you fight the boss, at the last blow in the end, in the kill animation is death like taking the lantern and like shooting the boss in the face with it or something. You want this lantern? Eat it! He fucking Kamehameha is the boss of the choice. Any potion? Oh! Oh! Oh, there it is. Shadow of Death. So that's the set. Now where's the
The laser's somewhere else. I don't remember where they're at. I only got that because I recognized this room off.
You recognize the spot?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, those things. I recognize those
Hold on.
things.
Hold the phone. Oh dear.
Motherfucker.
Just out of curiosity, just look at this set really quick. I just want to just to see if it's nothing special. So that's the last one there. Shadow of Death. So Arcane. Yes, that's probably caster set. I think that was kind of weird. Weird as well with this, where it does give you more choice about how you want to play Death, but like you have the two different trees of either like melee combat or like spellcaster. So I have seen some videos of the Necromancer. I think that's what it's called, and it's cool like how you can like summon minions and can you run and jump back? There you go. Let's just go. Hey.
I just wish it did better. I wish that that system was just a touch on the better side, to be honest.
The what? I'm sorry?
Like the gear sets focused more like the abilities rather than stats. You know what I mean?
Like it would make your abilities do better than besides just increasing your stats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's them trying to put gear in for what kind of build you want to go through. Because there's also somewhat themes to build, like the melee. There's definitely a look specific to melee builds for armor, and then there's definitely like looks specific for that have like casters in mind. I think a lot of the necromancer stuff have like robes and flowing cloth and all that, and then you have the more fighter, it's either like plate armor, quote unquote, stuff for the melees.
Yep.
The melees. Come
Not
this
even
way.
plate armor, just like...
Not like just armor, quote unquote.
This.
Oh. Oh. Oops. Whoops.
Climb there. You can go downstairs.
Oh, okay.
So I remember this puzzle. I remember pretty well. Just
That was kind of cool. Your self was just hanging there. Is there nothing up if you push on that, or if you death grip to that thing behind you?
that's the way back up there.
Okay. Yes, we know. Nissan. Nissan.
Nissan?
Nissan. Hey, Nissan. Hello.
Hey, listen. Oh, hey.
Could you wait? Is there a PC version of this?
No.
I was gonna say, imagine there's a PC version, someone modded in a Navi thing with fucking dust.
No, thank you.
Dust is like, hey, listen, hello.
No, thank you.
Opens the door. Hey, we got a bomb.
Someone set us on the bomb.
We can destroy the fucking Yellowstones.
But that's a national park, man. Why would we want to do that?
Ooh. 'Cause that's where the evil lives, apparently. Alright, so now that the switch has been free, what does it do? Should the elevator just gone down because the switch was always pushed in until you blew up the... I don't know.
Don't think about it.
Uh,
It's and
you have died. It just lowers you to a death pit. Pew!
We're almost done with Land of the Dead.
I love just shooting the laser beam off the side there.
It's just this big burn mark.
It's just cutting the fucking whole dungeon in half. Get the fuck out, Death.
Okay, and now we need to rotate this fucker this way.
Over there. Oh. Ugh.
Go this way.
Do we want to try Argyl's tomb before we leave the Land of the Dead?
Not really. To be honest with you, I want to get through this. To be
Whoa.
if the game is gonna force us to come back and do Argyl's tomb,
I think it's gonna, because it's an optional dungeon. You don't have to do it.
So be
It was a DLC dungeon. I remember when I first played this game, the Argyl's Tomb was one of the first places I went to because they came with my special edition.
hard.
And yeah, because it's you're not really supposed to go there right off the bat. But if we're almost near the end and we got some pretty decent equipment, we could probably go back and give it a shot. They probably won't be that bad. Whoa! It's that guy.
Hey, Cthulhu!
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, it's a fucking old god.
It's Cthulhu. You will take me to the Well of Souls.
Cthulhu, the wailing host is here. Fight him, Death.
Now,
Defeat the wailing.
not like that. First time for the last time.
What the fuck is this thing doing in this fucking Sea of the Dead? You ever figure that out? So we came here to look for someone that could tell us about the Well of Souls, I believe. Oh, this thing is in the Well of Souls. Literally is a fucking old god. In his hands. Big spooky hands. I think the downside of not having an item you find in the dungeon helps you fight the boss is there's actually a little less creativity, because in this it's literally just dodge the attack, attack the boss. As opposed to if you had a cool item that did something, you use that to fight the boss in some way. Hit him in the face! Hit him in the big dumb face! Oh, there he goes. Hey, there's the worm. Oh no, he's summoning Kill Jaden. Bad face.
Oh God, no! Not all these things that I fought before.
And all these things that give us.
Whatever shall I do?
All these things that give us health.
Oh man!
Oh, whatever
Sonic Boom.
Whatever will we do?
Sonic Boom.
Only can use Sonic Hurricane. I would love to hear Death scream Sonic Hurricane. Sonic! And it has the fucking pan around camera shot from the Street Fighter 2 animated movie.
Yep, exactly.
Then it shoots out and
it
cuts
cut
the house,
you-
cuts
cut-
the fucking boss in half.
And then cuts Ihana's house in half.
Yeah. But it doesn't collapse, it just kind of falls over on itself a little bit.
Yes, summon dudes, I dare you.
I get the feeling we're a little overpowered for this because this guy's doing shit damage to you, but that did some reasonable damage to you.
Yeah, he hits hard.
Not too hard.
Not too, yeah, it's not too hard.
It's not like, holy shit, this guy's gonna one-shot us if we don't dodge the mechanic perfectly.
Like we playing
Are you playing the pre-sequel?
I've already beat the pre-sequel. I'm just playing. Hey, look it's the kill shot.
Wait, already?
Yep.
Oh, I was looking at your health, not his. Rip off the mask. Oh, he's so not pretty. The
It's
true
face
challenger
trans-
awaits.
Phase transition. Heroic mode.
We've mentioned it once or twice, but it's still so disappointing, the last boss in this game. And you have bosses like this, like, oh, obviously he has phases and different mechanics and stuff, and then you fight the last boss, and, oh, okay, I beat this first. This is obviously the first phase of the fight. Like, wait, no. Wait, he's dead? What?
I'm gonna fucking Oda the ground. Hold on.
I was not expecting Patrick Seitz Muda 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 to be as good as it was in the English dub.
You were not expecting Patrick Seitz.
Well, because it was such a weird thing. I'm like, is the Ora and the Muda 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 thing is such a it's basically just Japanese of.
It's onomatopoeia. That's all it really is.
It's Muda is like useless or something in Japanese,
Right.
something like that.
And
I'm like,
Ora
are they
is
gonna
just-
actually translate it in English, but they want to leave it the way it is because no, that's what fans want to hear. And Matt Mercer did a good job with the orders. It gets the job done. And then I heard
He
Patrick.
also do start Latin.
Yes, because it's the same voice. And then you hear, Patrick Science's deal going. I was like, oh, yeah, good job. I clapped and was happy. I wasn't expecting him to fail by any means, but I was like, you know what? That was good.
Pleasant surprise.
So now right here we need Death to Ultraman this and grow to the same size as this guy and punch him in the face. And go, ha! And then shoot him with the forearm laser. Have you seen the artwork for that Ultraman anime that's going to be on Netflix? It looks fucking amazing. I think it's Netflix. That's a good-ass Ultraman design.
Okay, end of boss.
Chop him in his big pink face. Oh, there. Oh. I summon you, my death scythe. Oh god. Oh. Yeah. I forget who the death card was in JoJo, but. Wait, was it Whole Horse? No, he was Emperor.
See, couldn't see what we were doing. What we were doing to him was unspeakable.
It was obviously inappropriate for the viewers of this game. It'd be cool if Death came up wearing his mask.
He's just all covered in fucking blood.
Vandersmash.
This is one of the DLC weapons.
Formed from materials of realms beyond, brought to one in the name of dark magic, pulsing with eerie presence of vestigial anguish? Is that how you say that?
Vestigial anguish.
Vestigial anguish. This hammer is feared not only for its power, but for its ties to a shadowed cult. Yeah, I think pretty much all the DLC weapons were,
Hey, the Abyssal Forge.
that is DLC, I believe.
It is.
pretty much all the DLC, which you've seen a number of times already, a bunch of the DLC weapons were tied to bosses that you just killed in the game. Just like the DLC armors are in chests, and they're not just mailed to you at the start.
Special ability. Because I never used the Vander Smash from the get-go.
What's it do? Really quick before we wrap this one up.
Oh, it's just a big hit.
Yeah, there's no special ability on this.
It's big hit.